Welcome to Love X Revenge, where love collides with pride, secrets unravel, and one unexpected moment can change everything. The millionaire CEO had closed billion-dollar deals without blinking, but nothing made his palms sweat like the quiet boy sitting beside him in the back of the car. Ethan stared out the window, counting streetlights under his breath, his fingers moving in a precise rhythm against his knee. The driver waited. The city lights blurred past. And Victor Hale, titan of industry, realized he had never felt so powerless. This had been a terrible idea. A blind date. For Ethan, Victor told himself he wasn't forcing anything. He had simply agreed when a well-meaning board member mentioned her niece, a sweet, patient girl, someone who volunteered and loved books and didn't care about money. Someone who might see Ethan as more than the diagnosis written in careful letters in medical files. Ethan was 19, brilliant with numbers, honest to the point of pain, overwhelmed by noise, crowds, and unpredictable people. Victor had spent years shielding him from the world, building quiet rooms and predictable routines. But now Victor feared that protection had become a cage. "We can go home," Victor said softly, his voice unfamiliar even to himself. "Anytime." Ethan didn't look at him. "We said 20 minutes, he replied. "I want to try." That was how it always was. Ethan didn't speak often, but when he did, he meant it. The restaurant was upscale but calm, all warm lighting and soft music. Victor had reserved a private corner, already planning excuses if things went badly. The girl was supposed to arrive with her aunt, who would quietly leave once introductions were made. Clean, controlled, safe. Too controlled, Victor thought bitterly. They were seated when Victor noticed the first problem. People stared, some with curiosity, some with judgment. Ethan's hands fluttered briefly before he clasped them together, breathing carefully. Victor hated the world for making his son feel like this. Then the girl arrived. She came alone. She didn't scan the room for Victor. She didn't look impressed. She didn't freeze when Ethan rocked slightly in his chair. She walked straight up to the table, smiled gently, and spoke to Ethan first. "Hi, I'm Clara," she said. "Is this seat okay, or does the light bother you from that side?" Ethan blinked. Victor froze. No one ever asked that. Ethan studied her face, searching for something Victor couldn't see. "That seat is better," he said finally, pointing. "The light flickers less." Clara nodded and moved without hesitation. "Good. Flickering lights make my head hurt." She didn't say it like a strategy. She said it like a fact. Victor cleared his throat. "I'm Victor Hale." "I know," Clara said kindly. "But I'm here for him." She smiled at Ethan again, and something in his shoulders loosened. For the first 10 minutes, Victor barely spoke. He watched in disbelief as Clara let Ethan set the pace. She didn't interrupt when he explained, in exacting detail, how patterns in floor tiles calmed him. She didn't laugh when he admitted he hated metaphors because they lied. She listened like it mattered. When the waiter arrived, Ethan stiffened. Menus. Decisions. Too many choices. Clara leaned closer. "I already looked," she whispered. "The chicken is the same as last time I was here. No sauce unless you ask." Ethan exhaled. "I'll have that." Victor felt something twist in his chest. Halfway through the meal, Victor realized something else. This wasn't charity. Clara wasn't performing kindness. She was genuinely curious. "So what do you like most about numbers?" she asked. "They don't pretend," Ethan replied. "They are either right or wrong. People say things they don't mean." Clara nodded slowly. "I do that sometimes. I'm trying to stop." Ethan studied her again. "You're honest." "I'm trying to be," she said. "It's harder than people think." Victor saw it then. Not romance. Not yet. Something rarer. Respect. When the 20 minutes passed, Ethan checked his watch. "We can stay longer," he said. Victor's heart nearly stopped. They stayed an hour. Afterward, in the car, Ethan stared at his hands again, but this time his fingers were still. "She didn't talk to me like I was broken," he said quietly. Victor swallowed. "You aren't." "I know," Ethan said. "But most people don't." The next day, Victor did something reckless. He investigated Clara. No trust fund. No connection to his world. She worked part-time at a community center and studied psychology, specializing in neurodiversity. Her aunt had mentioned the blind date, yes, but Clara had insisted on coming alone. She had rules. No pity dates. No pretending. Victor requested a meeting. Clara arrived at his office wearing the same calm confidence she'd shown Ethan. She didn't comment on the view. She didn't ask for favors. "I want to be clear," Victor said. "My son's life is not an experiment." "I know," Clara replied. "That's why I spoke to him first." Victor leaned back. "People want things from my family. I don't want your money," she said evenly. "And I don't want to save your son. He doesn't need saving." Silence stretched. "What do you want, then?" Victor asked. "To see him again," she said. "If he wants to." Victor nodded slowly. "He does." What Victor didn't expect was how the world would react. Photos leaked. Headlines twisted the story. Millionaire uses autistic son for PR. Girl seeks fortune through disability. Clara received messages. Hate. Accusations. People who had never met Ethan deciding who he was allowed to love. Victor prepared legal teams. Statements. Damage control. Ethan surprised them both. "I want to speak," he said. Victor hesitated. "The noise. I can handle it," Ethan said. "If Clara is with me." At the press conference, the room buzzed. Cameras flashed. Victor watched his son walk to the podium, Clara standing quietly beside him, not touching, just present. Ethan adjusted the microphone. "I am autistic," he said clearly. "I am not a prop. I asked Clara to talk to me again. She said yes. That is the whole story." A reporter scoffed. "Do you understand what relationships are?" Ethan looked straight at him. "Do you?" The room fell silent. "She spoke to me first," Ethan continued. "Not my father. Not my money. Me. That matters." Victor felt tears burn his eyes. Afterward, when the world finally went quiet, Ethan and Clara sat on a park bench, watching pigeons trace patterns in the air. "People are loud," Ethan said. "They are," Clara agreed. "But you stayed." "I will," she said. "As long as you want me to." Ethan nodded once. Decisive. Certain. Victor watched from a distance, understanding something he never had before. Love wasn't about protection or control. It was about trust. About letting someone else speak first. And for the first time, the billionaire CEO felt truly rich.